So we are going to be set on the way for qualifying for the 2025 Miami Grand Prix. Norris won the sprint race. I'm going to check what happened in the sprint just so that it is confirmed that everyone finished and classified where they finished due to the investigations. And yes, after all the investigations except for Max Verstappen, it remains where you were. Hello there, John Cartier. I hope you're doing well this evening. I know. Thank you for the like. I know you are an hour ahead in Norway, so yeah, this is going to be a late one for you. Qualifying has started. Lando Norris, after a fortuitous pit stop when a safety car emerged after Alonso and Lawson's collision. Norris took, what I have to say, one of the luckiest wins he will ever take in his career. But, you know, you have to be there to take them. So, you know, and for Piastri, I mean, he only concedes a point. I'm going to look at the scores. Charles Leclerc will take part after the team fixed his suspension. Rookie land away. Sorry. I can't say I'm that, honestly, that impressed by what happened between Rupert Lowe and the leader of Reform, about how the leader of Reform accused Rupert Lowe of bullying people and doing things I don't think Rupert Lowe did, but it does seem to be that the leader of the Reform Party does seem to be the jealous type. He does seem to be the type that really hates it when other people take the limelight. Like when Nigel Farage was in charge of UKIP, he fell out with Stephen Wolf and quite a few other key characters in that party. And I'm going to say this about Reform. They are stocking up heavily on former Tory and even a couple of Labour MPs into their ranks. So be careful what you wish for, I'm going to just say, with what happened yesterday. But of course, I will say I was pretty pleased to see the Tories and Labour lose hundreds of council seats, because it's what they deserve. Hulkenberg has gone fastest with a 28.244 with the sun shining in Miami after the wet dry race in the sprint. Of course, unfortunately, I would be very surprised. And of course, he's already fallen down to fifth. Albon goes fastest temporarily as 8 cars have set a lap. Alonso crashing out. Goes second fastest. Tsunoda's already 10th fastest. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, really unlucky that Oscar made his pit stop before the safety car came out. But, you know, you cannot foresee these type of things. And he only conceded a point. Babe Gasly struggling in the Alpine. Piastri, 27.3. He replies to his sprint race loss. Verstappen ahead of Norris. Look at that. They're already getting their act together. And in the drop zone, well, we haven't got a drop zone yet because the two, Leclerc's Ferrari, the two RBs, and the two Mercedes are still yet to set a lap. But it's, look, Stroll's in the drop zone. And I presume that's Leclerc going 10th fastest. Okay, he's slower than Hamilton. But of course, Hamilton has no damage on his Ferrari. Just so you know, Piastri is probably going to take the fastest time. But all Mercedes powered cars have changed the power unit. I think so. It seems like it, doesn't it? Which is a bit worrying. Stroll is in the drop zone after his great performance in the sprint race. And I have to say, Stroll's been pretty good this season, surprisingly. Alonso still has no points to his name for 2025. But of course, Alonso always seems to have some sort of problem. Fifth fastest, only 7 tenths down on the championship leader. And ahead of his old friend Lewis Hamilton. Okay, I'm taking a piss there. But look, gotta say it, Sainz is really struggling to get a bit of help at Williams. Hulkenberg is 9th, which is he's doing extremely well, exemplary well with that Sauber. I've got to say, ahead of Shalala. Gotta say, Haas have outperformed themselves so far, considering how slow their car actually is. New third, Max. Doesn't look like Hadjar or Lawson or the 2 Mercedes have got out yet. New floor not working for Max. Yeah, well, Tsunoda is really... Goodness me, Tsunoda's... I don't know whether Tsunoda's got an older spec car or the older floor, but Red Bull are just not quick anymore. Red Bull have really fallen off in the past 12 months in terms of development. I mean, ever since Lando won at Miami at the same venue 12 months ago, for what was, of course, his maiden Grand Prix win, Red Bull have slowly ebbed away and fallen off. And I mean, the thing is, though, Max is still relatively quick with the newest parts, though, so it's not that bad from a Max point of view, but obviously, the second driver always suffers at Red Bull, of course. We should take the bottom 5 with a pinch of salt because, of course, the 2 RBs and Mercedes still yet to set time. Hadjar goes second fastest. Oh, look at that. The junior RB gets ahead of the senior. Just 3 cars remaining to set a lap. What a lap by the young Frenchman, Isaac Hadjar. Oh, Sainz. 27.1 in the Williams. What was I saying? I was criticizing him. Now he's just set the fastest time. I wonder how quick Oh, Hadjar's not happy with the Williams. Antonelli takes the fastest time. The pole sitter of the sprint race lays down a marker. He wants to prove people wrong. And now it's only Russell remaining to set a fastest lap. Lawson goes 6th fastest. And in the drop zone is, Leclerc, Ocon, bearman, and Tsunoda, the 2 horses, Leclerc and bearman. And, it's changing again. Hamilton joins the drop zone with Stroll in the drop zone with Ocon up to 13th. And Tsunoda's down in 20th. He's the slowest guy on track. That's worrying. That is severely worrying for Tsunoda. Oh dear, Alex.
Why does that happen? Why do we wait for those final laps? Yeah, well, it's getting more and more intense, of course. We've got 5 minutes left.
The order spec doesn't work.
Only Q1, so we've got 2 more sessions after this. And of course, it's the final.
Thank you for the like. This is the drop zone as we speak. The 2 horses, the 2 Aston Martins and Gasly are in trouble. Tsunoda improves to 10th with a 27.5. And oh my, where is Verstappen? Verstappen's 12th. Lawson is the fastest Red Bull affiliated driver on the track. Look how close it is between Bortoleto and Vries. Bortoleto's 5th. I think, yeah, I think Red Bull, I kind of underestimated Red Bull's struggles. But I do think they could, the fastest time could still tumble as we speak. I don't know how many more minutes there is to go, but I think there is about 5, 6, 7 minutes remaining. Just so you know, we have 18 minutes for the first session, plus added time for drivers to complete their final flying laps. If the clock goes to 0 whilst they're still on the final quali lap. Look at that. Hamilton dangerously close to the drop zone by just less than a 10th. 4.5 minutes to go. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Doohan, as per usual, always living dangerously. He is about 27.66. Where is Gasly? Oh yeah, Gasly's at the drop zone. I forgot. What the hell? Oh my word! Come on, Gas. Hamilton nearly 3 tenths slower than Leclerc. Verstappen sets a new lap and he goes fastest with a 27.87. That's God, he's almost 6. He's 6 tenths quicker than Tsunoda. Once again, the gap between Max and his teammate is just tremendous. Gotta say, how has Bortoleto gone to? Oh, he's gone to 7th. He's improved. I mean, I don't know whether someone had a lap time deleted, but he's 7th in a Sauber. That's remarkable. Where's the Russell? Russell is in 9th. Look at the gap between 3rd and 5th. And 13th, look at that. That is less than 2 tenths separate Lando Norris in his McLaren to Isaac Hadjar in the RB. That is so close. Less than 2 tenths, folks. That is ballistic. That is insanity. I was going to use my usual catchphrase, that's crazy, but this is just beyond a different galaxy at this point. 2 minutes to go, thank you. Cheers, John. I think a lot of people are getting a bit tired. I don't know what's going on. I think some people might be going to nightclubs, going out, whilst I'm just sitting here doing a live stream. I think McLaren are just saving their tyres for the next session, to be honest. It's the bottom 5 who are in trouble. Gasly, the 2 Astons and the 2 horses are in trouble with Hamilton. Less than a 100th of a second above the drop zone, I beg your pardon. Just just over a minute to go. Hello there, say Rigora. You are correct. Max Verstappen has lost his Midas torch. 0 points in the sprint race. You just came home, okay. I hope you're doing well. 15th for Gasly. Hamilton's in the drop zone, I think. Screen is not updating. The head is going up on upstairs. Why is my screen updating? Oh, right, you went to your friends an hour ago, yeah. Gasly goes to 15th. Yeah, hope you enjoyed your day. Yeah, see your mates. Tsunoda's third seat for my watch. You know, you can never say never again, title number 8, but Lando Norris hit the wall. Oh dear. Bearman 19th, yeah, he's out. Hamilton did get out, but just so you know, Hamilton got up to 8th place, so this is incorrect. Oh, so this is the drop zone, everyone. Oh, wow. Doohan out qualifies Gasly. Jesus, wait. Hulkenberg is out in 16th. Bortoleto qualifies, takes the 11th fastest time of Q1. Very good effort by the young Brazilian. That's going to be a £50,000 fine there for Nico Hulkenberg for expletives on the radio. North Sentinel Island, yes. That island that's located off the shores of India, where there was some weird mixed-race Christian missionary from America who tried to convert them to the Holy Christ a few years back. And after 3 attempts, they took his body, they slaughtered him, and they buried him in the sand. And frankly, he got what he deserved, really. I mean, play stupid games. And in this case, he didn't even win any stupid prizes. He got unalived altogether. So I don't even know what was his name. I don't even know. He was. I mean, to be honest. Well, I mean, all you have to do if you want to look for the story, for those of you who don't know about the Christian mixed race, half Chinese, half white Christian area who got killed, who got slaughtered at North Sentinel Island, just type in North Sentinel Island. Yeah, they probably cannibalized him, to be honest. But, you know, I mean, he was warned multiple occasions by the local Indian fishermen not to go near the Sentinelese. Specifically, they told him in the best English possible, please do not disturb the Sentinelese because they might not have immunity to any sort of diseases that you might bring to them because they do not interact with any other human beings on this planet. They are basically like the Native Americans during like the 18th century, when of course white Europeans first made contact with them. Oh, Gasly, you bottle qualify again. Ugh. But the Alpine is not quick around this track. But I can't excuse you for the fact that you've been out qualified by your teammate by a margin of nearly 0.3 of a second. I don't know, mate. I mean, the only thing that's going to keep Gasly in that seat is the fact he's the only guy who scored their 6 points so far. So we are going to be off to Q2. It looks like Aston Martin's points from this weekend will probably come from the 3 points Stroll scored in a sprint. Sorry, just so we see the rest of the order, Lawson 14th, Ocon into Q2 as well. All the usual suspects, really. Sorry. Oh, yeah, the swear jaw for Pierre Gasly. Mohammed bin Salman is going to become a billionaire at the end of this season. He's got a small business plan with that swearing ban. I mean, the problem with Gasly was about exactly 0.26 seconds below 15th. I'm sorry, Pierre, you've got to take responsibility for this. I don't know what to say at this point in time, but of course, after what happened in the sprint race, I kind of think Max Verstappen is going to be pushing closer to divorce that Red Bull. I mean, it wasn't entirely Red Bull's fault that Carlos Sainz jumped out in front of him, but we all know Max is the type of person who likes to keep scores on everything that goes wrong, whether it's the team's fault or whether it's an indirect consequence of something they did. Fernando Alonso and Aston Martin, cannot wait for next season, to be honest. Once again, Alonso outqualified Stroll, but frankly, Stroll is slower than a hippo when it comes to qualifying. And we are about to head for Q2, everyone. Without 2 Aston Martins, an Alpine, a Sauber, and a Haas. The thing is, Alonso was on course for a good points finish had he not collided with Lawson, but $126,643 for Max. I think we're going to get beneath number 26 for pole position today. And it turned out Tsunoda improved to a 4th. Pretty decent. Those are the top 3 so far in quali. Tsunoda. Someone's going to get in between Max and Yuki, I'm afraid. Ocon close behind in 3rd place. They're unlocking the pace of that horse. Just so you know, Haas have got about 3 team bases. I think 1 in America, Britain, and Italy. So this is basically got 5 home races. And Leclerc takes 3rd, Sainz 2nd again. Bortoleto has been rapid this weekend. Shaky yesterday with a water bottle, okay. And I know in Florida there's a lot of dry heat, but it's not. Is it humid like it is in Malaysia or Singapore? I don't know. It's not like if you do a race. Oh, Piastri goes fastest 26.27. Oh, the tire water, okay. Look at that. 2 tenths quicker than Norris. And nearly 4 tenths on Max. Alpine, once again, sneaking in front of Sainz. Tsunoda down to 8th. 2 Ferrari sneaking ahead of Yuki. And this is the drop zone. There's only 11 cars I've said lap time so far, but Lawson is really way off the pace. Oh, Antonelli goes 3rd fastest. And that means that Russell, Ocon, Doohan, and the 2 RBs are in the drop zone. So, oh, right. Christian Horner accused McLaren of putting water on their tyre last season. I don't know what sort of advantage you can gain by pouring water over your tyres, whether it's hot water, cold water, whatever. That's a strange tactic I've never heard of in F1. Just pouring water over the tyres. I've always used to sit there and think that if you try to squeeze orange juice over your tyres, you could make them more sticky. But then that was because back then I was probably like 12 years old when I thought that idea. So yeah, I'm not sure what advantage you can get though by just pouring just standard tap water over your tyres. Cooling brake. Oh, it was a cooling brake tactic. Okay. Hadjar still not yet to set a lap. Bortoleto is doing a great job, by the way. But he is only 100th of a second quicker than Russell. And he's only 2,000 slower than Yuki.
Seems to be having a better time of it this weekend with that Sauber, which we know probably the funnest part of life. Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's had its moments, hasn't it? I think this is. Yeah, get out there early. Just no confidence, Gary. No grip, hiding everywhere. That's Russell, then he wants to get out there early doors, so he's got the time to try and improve his lap time. He is currently down in 11th, 8 tenths off, or nearly 9 tenths off.
Russell in the drop zone. Doohan obviously in the drop zone, Ocon in the drop zone, the two RBs. They could go faster because Hadjar did a 27.3 in the previous session. I think the RBs are capable of doing like a 27.1. But obviously, everyone else is going to go faster as well, so I think the RBs are going to work cut out if they want to make it to Q3. Just so you know who's the fastest, it is Piastri at 26.27 ahead of teammate Lando Norris. Antonelli continues his great form with a 26.6, half a second quicker than Russell. What did I tell you? Russell was always going to come under the cosh with Antonelli as a teammate. The kid is no joke. It looks like Mercedes' driver pairing of 2022 to 24 are getting slapped by their teammates this weekend. In terms of raw pace, obviously. Not literally, of course. We don't condone that sort of behaviour on this channel. What else can there be said? Yeah, for me, the Lando fangirls are really going overboard now with their defense of their man. It's vomit-inducing, if I'm going to be honest. Of course, if you're a Lando Norris fan, you are free to join in the chat. But, you know, we have to be real here. He is now in his 7th season of Formula 1. He's 25 years old. The excuses are now running thin. Oscar is only in the 3rd year of his career, so... Look at that. Russell is just 100th off the survival zone there.
Aston. So track temperature at the moment 39 degrees, 65% humidity, and the wind is fairly consistent at 12 kilometers an hour being registered on our tiny screens. Air temperature about
I think it's pretty safe to say Sergio Perez would be on the verge of getting eliminated if he was still at Red Bull.
Bortoleto is currently occupying that coveted 10th place spot. Let's see if he might be able to pull something out of the bag here and get himself a first top 10 start in his
I mean, yeah, Lando's quick. I'm not honestly that sold on his racecraft, to be honest. You know, Brazil. The fact he clipped the barriers at Singapore last year. Bottling quite a few potential race wins, like I'm trying to think, Hungary, Silverstone last year, Canada. Did he bottle Spain? It's a really hard one, but I know he managed to take, what was it, 4 race wins last year, but I think he could have won 10 last year, to be honest, if he was really perfect. Give or take. Ocon improves to 9th place. Oh, look at that. Russell struggling to get out. Hamilton's on the brink. Hadjar still to set his lap. Russell goes third. Hamilton in the drop zone. Hadjar's 10th. Lawson's out. Lawson's out. Hamilton's out. Turns out Russell went up to third, just ahead of Antonelli. Gave him a good wake-up call. That is your drop zone for Q2. Hadjar and Lawson out for RB. Bortoleto, despite a good effort, is eliminated in Q2 as well. Of course, Hadjar actually went under 27, but still wasn't enough, as he's out qualified by Ocon by 200ths of a second. And Doohan, Doohan was always going to get eliminated, but that's more of an embarrassment for Gasly. So that is that is the next 5 cars that went out. So here is your bottom 10 drivers on the start grid for tomorrow's Miami Grand Prix. 11th and 12th will be Hadjar and Hamilton. Hello there, Will. I hope you're having a great evening. I haven't seen you on this channel for a long time, so greetings, and I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. Hadjar and Hamilton on the 6th row. 7th row will be Bortoleto for what looks like it's one of his best starting spots in his career. Doohan alongside him. To be fair, I mean, Ferrari got a podium with Hamilton in a sprint race, but that was partly due to shenanigans for the club, Verstappen, and of course the 2 Mercedes. 8th row of the grid will be Lawson and Hulkenberg. 9th row will be Alonso, still without a point this season, alongside Pierre Gasly. Not good enough, Pierre. Not good enough. And the rear row of the grid on the 10th row will be Stroll and bearman. Bearman really is struggling in qualifying. I'm going to have to say it now. I mean, what do you mean by a weather forecast? Is it raining? Is it hailing? I don't know. Heck, is it giving out faulty data like the live feed for George Russell at the Bahraini Grand Prix? Oh, it's going to be rain. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I think it's more exciting when it starts raining at a street track because these sort of circuits don't naturally produce a lot of overtaking opportunities in the dry. Yeah. What's that saying again? Hot tutter. Halt. Oh. Oh, but shalalalala, what's happened? Oh yeah, was it the crash in the what was it, sprint formation lap? For a moment I thought you said he crashed out on his out lap in Q3, but when's it gonna end, Robbie? When's it gonna end? Oh my goodness me, AFTV is late. Goodness me, thank goodness I do not support that football club. My head would just explode listening to Mikel Arteta's never-ending list of excuses. The grass is too long. The cows invaded the field. The goalposts were too big. The ball boy didn't return the ball back onto the pitch too quickly. The referee was too keen to give us yellow and red cards for time wasting. Oh man! Oh my goodness me! That guy! Goodness me! I don't know how certain Arsenal fans pull with that. That's just unbelievable. Because when you spend £750 million on the players they've got, and they have lost the title, they're going to finish second for a 3rd year in a row. Although, of course, the way things are going, they might finish 5th. And of course, if you finish 5th, you're going to have to go to a qualifying round for the Champions League. So, oh dear. Yeah, honestly, and with the way things are in the Champions League in that semi-final leg against PSG, also known as LSG due to their own record of bottling in Europe. Yeah. It's time to go! 39% rain for the Miami Grand Prix. Oh, that's interesting. Although, of course, knowing the F1 race control, they will delay the race by like half an hour, make everyone start behind a safety car, and then by the time they start the race, everyone will replace their intermediate tyres after like 15 laps, and everyone will be straight back onto dry tyres again. So, and of course, at least for the first time ever at Miami, the spectators and TV viewers finally got to see some real, true rain and water appear on the track instead of that tacky, fake ocean harbour that's situated next to the track, due to the fact that the local council and residents stopped the track being constructed next to the real-life harbour itself in Miami. And that is your Bob 10, by the way. I apologise for going on a tangent about football, because honestly, I just have to take the piss out of Arsenal Football Club at this point for losing 2-1 to Bournemouth at home. I honestly don't know how my brother-in-law puts up with them. I really don't. Like, I had more satisfaction watching my club, Derby County, survive relegation today, drawing 0-0 at home to the wonderful Stoke City. Turns out the warm, sunny weather suited both teams. And Luton Town blew it all on black. That is your Bob 10 for tomorrow's Miami Grand Prix. Hadjar, Hamilton, Bortoleto, Doohan, Lawson out in Q2, and out in Q1, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Gasly, Stroll, and Ollie Bearman. And just so you know, we have 12 minutes for Q3. I don't know why you think I'd be an Arsenal fan. I think I would rather drink a bottle of bleach than support that football club, because it... Wow, I don't know. I'm just glad they're not my problem. I'm glad I don't like have a TV membership to watch Arsenal every game, or like a season ticket, because I would just be so angry right now. I don't know how Arsenal fans have the patience to pull up that club with the insane amount of money they spend, and they don't actually win much. And when I say win much, they don't win trophies, let alone... I mean, I think they've had 13 draws this season in the league, so Q3 is underway for Miami qualifying. Just so you know, Antonelli is not the official youngest ever pole sitter, due to the fact that that pole position was for the sprint race. More PR spiel from Zachary Brown. Same problem for Hamilton. Locking up the left front. Always got an excuse, this fella. Q3 has begun, everyone. He has proceeded. Check. Who's in Q3, is it? Ocon's in Q3. I can't believe my eyes. Ocon has snuck into Q3. And he's over Isaac Hadjar. Zachary Shannon Brown, interesting name. His parents bestowed upon him.
Corners to go, taken flat out, a sweeper to the left, a sweeper to the right, sees on the lap, the max
Max Verstappen goes P1. Purple sector 2 for Lando. I wonder, could we get a sub 26 for Paul?
Kimi Antonelli is going to be the next driver across the line. The man who set pole for the sprint race right now, though, not lighting up the timing screens enough to challenge in these early stages, does put himself up into fourth spot. And his teammate George Russell pipped as he crosses the line.
Look at how close it is between Max and Lando. 3,000 of a second. That's biblical. Okay. I mean, to be fair, I know Zach's got a lot of sponsors and got a lot of engineers in the right places. But it's up to him to get his drivers to deliver out on the track, on the asphalt. How the hell is that? Bloody hell, there's almost a 7/10 gap between Verstappen and 5th place Albert. That's huge. Having said that, Antonelli is really is pushing his Mercedes this weekend. Charles Leclerc still hasn't set a lap yet. And Tsunoda is over a second slower than his teammate. That's terribly worrying. Oh, it was Seidel who wanted a Mercedes engine. Yes, Andreas Seidel was the one who realised that McLaren needed to upgrade from Renault to Mercedes. And it's paid dividends. It has paid dividends because, of course, Renault will be leaving F1 at the end of this season with their engine program, at least. Alpine may still be here next year, but they'll be here with a Mercedes customer deal as well. Leclerc is oh dear, Ferrari really need Leclerc to pull the proverbial rabbit out of the hat now. Leclerc abandoned his flying lap. I think it's safe to say that the big reason why Leclerc crashed out on his formation lap in the sprint, I think it's safe to say it must have been the water. It must have been the water, as of course the great philosopher Mikel Arteta would say, it's the water's fault. My God, it's such a big gap between 4th and 5th in itself. Max Verstappen will be fired up. And of course, congratulations to Max for becoming a father for the first time in his 27 years of walking this earth. I presume Kenny Piquet is the child's mother. I just can't resist myself, okay, mocking the guy who is the head coach of Arsenal Football Club. It must be the wall. It must be the wall. But of course, I'm not here to talk about football. I'm here to talk about the vroom racing cars around the Miami street track. I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna have to probably do a separate live stream for Arsenal at some point in the next week because, oh my goodness me, I've got so much to say about Arsenal. It's not even funny, and I don't even support the club because, honest to God, I would go berserk. I would go absolutely berserk. I would need to seek a therapist. And I would probably need like medication to help me if I actually was an Arsenal fan at this point. I couldn't deal with it. I think everyone is now prepping for their final flying laps. Look at that. Sainz once again slower than Albotto. Goodness me, Sainz is getting exposed. Purple sector of Max. Yeah, he needs to adapt to the Williams. I don't know why you keep. I don't know, mate. You kidding me? Let's not go down any sort of conspiracy theories about Arsenal football. I think Max is still on top of the timesheets. Three tenths. Max has got into a 20 under a 26.2. What can the two Maccas do? Top three remains the same. Antonelli gets third. Oh, Piastri's down to fourth. Oh, and Alpine and Sainz take sixth and seventh. Oh dear, the McLaren's fumble it again. Well. So that is your final qualifying order. Max, a million Verstappen, a new dad, takes pole position. Just 0.65 seconds ahead of Lando. Less than a tenth in it. Antonelli, sprint pole sitter, now with a career best of third place on the grid for the 4-feature race. Piastri, fourth. McLaren are far too inconsistent. They're far too inconsistent, despite having probably the best car on the grid. Fifth on the third row will be Russell and Sainz. Sainz going in front of Albon, I beg your pardon. Albon will start the fourth row with Leclerc, and on the fifth row will be Ocon, and Tsunoda was over 7 tenths slower than his teammate. That's pretty bad reading for Yuki. Oh dear. But that is your grid order for tomorrow's Miami Grand Prix. There may be a 39% chance of rain around this track. I just heard the fact that no pole sitter has ever won the Miami Grand Prix before, so this could be a good omen for McLaren and the Mercedes boys. Interesting session indeed. Once again, Max Verstappen gets his second pole position of the season. Another stellar qualifying effort from the Dutch quadruple world champion, who is trying to aim to become the youngest quintuple world champion that F1 has ever seen, as well as the youngest quintuple consecutive champion. And let's face it, if he accomplishes those two records, I think he's probably achieved one of two of the most, probably two unbreakable F1 records. And I've got to say, if it rains, well, I will say McLaren had a very fast car in the wet, so don't worry. If you're a McLaren fan and it rains, do not panic, because the lap times McLaren put in when it was put when the track was damp was very, very good. Even in the hands of Norris and Piastri, it's quick. It's got a lot of downforce, a lot of mechanical grip when it's wet, so don't worry. As for Antonelli, I don't know. Who knows what he's going to do tomorrow? It is probably new territory for Antonelli to be this high up at the age of just 18 years old. But for the first time in his young F1 career, he has out-qualified George Russell. And that is going to be huge cause for concern for George of the Russell. Sainz out-qualifies Albon. Leclerc can already get his car up to 8th place. That's a really poor effort by Maranello. Ocon outperforms his Haas to get into the top 10. Tsunoda 10th. Here's the rest of the order if you want to know about it. Hadjar 11th with Hamilton alongside. 7th row, Bortoleto and Doohan. 8th row, Lawson and Hulkenberg. 9th row, Alonso and Gasly. 10th row, Stroll and bearman.
A bit of time there, but around here it's just very complicated with the tires over a lap. But at the end, it worked out well. So I'm very happy, of course, to be on pole.
Yeah, because the back end stepped out on you in turn one, but you obviously had the confidence just to keep pinning it.
I mean, you come back out of it, but it's qualifying, try and correct it, and just floor it out of the corner.
So you're in the right place. It could well be wet tomorrow. The track was pretty difficult earlier on today in the sprint.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, race pace, I don't know. We have to wait and see for the weather, but it's the best starting position. That's always possible.
43 career poles for Maximilian Verstappen, yes. He's actually pretty handy at qualifying. Like, I know people used to criticize his qualifying pace, but he's really improved it massively, tremendously, astronomically. Oh, tough luck.
Happy with the progress I've been making with the car, with myself. So Max did a max lap once again, and I can't fault him. So
Happy and yeah, excited for tomorrow.
You were right there, but you had a little lock up into T17.
I did, yeah. Yeah, I think even that lap, well, it's all shit what it could have stopped, you know, but I didn't deliver. But yeah, no, I mean, the pace was there. The car's been still feeling good. I've been feeling better than I have done over the last few weekends. I've still not put it together, but it is what it is. Max on par on P2, so yeah, ready to see what we can do into turn 1.
Yeah, especially if should it rain tomorrow. You were mighty on the intermediates earlier on in the sprint.
I was, so let's pray for that. You know, I don't really mind if it's going to be dry or wet, but Miami seems to be surprising quite a bit with the weather at the minute, so I'm ready for both.
Brother,
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Kimi, another outstanding performance in your rookie season. Top 3. We're on pole for the sprint. I mean, you must be so satisfied, so pleased with what you're achieving this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend is going well so far. Was a bit disappointing this morning, but was good to bounce back this way. And yeah, I struggled a little bit during the quali. I didn't have such a clean run like I had yesterday, but yeah, that last lap was quite good. I was a bit too greedy in turn 1, starting the lap, but the rest of the lap was quite good, so I'm happy with it.
I think it was more than quite good. You split the mighty McLarens to put yourself right in contention.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the gaps are super tight, and definitely, you know, if you can gain just few hundreds, you can make up so many places. So it's really about putting everything together. And so far this weekend, I'm doing that. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow we can have a good race.
And we look forward to that.
Thank you so much.
Your top 3 ahead of the Miami Grand Prix. Max Verstappen, who will start on pole position alongside him, the McLaren and Lando Norris, and Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes will go from 3rd. You can join us for all 57 laps of round 6 of the Formula 1 World Championship on BBC Radio 5 Live. We're going to have an hour's build-up